Hello everyone, a heartiest welcome to Dew Public School. So myself Devidata Swai and today we are going to learn one chemistry chapter of standard 9, that is chapter number 4, structure of the atom. So in the chapter number 3 we have already learned about the atoms, molecules, atomic masses, molecular masses, gram atomic masses, etc. And in this chapter, that is chapter number 4, we will again learn about the atoms but in brief. So from chapter number 3 we have learned some factors. So have a look at these factors. So the first point is atom is very small and we cannot see the atom with naked eye. The second factor is everything is made up of atoms. The human beings, the animals, the vehicles, the gadget with which now you are watching the video also made up of atoms. So the next point is atoms are indivisible. That means we cannot divide the atom further. And atoms are the smallest particle. Yes, these three factors are correct. So the discovery of atom was a very important discovery in the history of science. And that's why scientists were very excited about this discovery. But after the discovery, some question arose in the mind of the scientist. So the questions like, what makes the atom of an element different from the atom of another element? And are atoms really indivisible? So in order to understand the atoms more, in order to understand these questions, in order to solve these questions, they carried out many experiments. From these experiments, they got some facts like, yes, atom is very small. Atoms are very small, we cannot see the atom, but those atoms contain many small particles. Just think about this fact. We know atom is very small, that we cannot see the atom. Again, that atom contains many small particles. Then what's about the size and the mass of that particles? So we will learn about those particles briefly. Have a look at this picture. Here it is a sphere. That sphere is called as the atom, and you can see small dots inside the sphere. So those dots are the particles which are present inside the atoms. So those particles are called as subatomic particles. So you can say that particles which are present inside the atom are called as the subatomic particles. In the previous chapter, we have learned about the postulates of Dalton's atomic theory. So Dalton said that atom is indivisible. But the discovery of these subatomic particles lead to the failure of this aspect of Dalton's atomic theory. That means atoms are not indivisible. That means you can divide the atom. Atoms are divisible. So from the above discussion, from these discussions, we have got to know the fact that yes, atom is very small. Atoms are very small, but they contains some small particles which are called as the subatomic particles. That means atom has its own world. So in this chapter we will learn about that world inside the atom. So next we will discuss about the mass of these subatomic particles. So as you can see, the mass of electron is 9 into 10 to the power minus 28 gram. The mass of proton is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 24 gram. And the mass of neutrons is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 28 gram. Minus 28 is here, minus 24 is here, and here minus 24 is present. That means the mass is very small. And here the mass of proton and the mass of neutron, when you compare the mass, so they almost have the same mass. We cannot say that the mass are exactly same, but approximately they are same. But throughout the chapter we can consider that the mass of proton is equals to the mass of neutrons. But in case of electron, the mass of electron is very much small as compared to proton and neutron. So let's know how it is very less as compared to proton and neutron. So let's divide the mass of proton with the mass of electron. So when you divide the mass of proton with the mass of electron, that means if you divide 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 24 gram with 9 into 10 to the power minus 28 gram, the value is supposed to come 1777.77, which is approximately 2000. So that means the mass of proton is approximately 2000 times as the mass of electron. So we can say that mass of electron is negligible as compared to the mass of proton and neutron. We cannot say that electron has no mass. If we compare the mass of an elephant and an ant, then the mass of ant is negligible as compared to the elephant. That does not mean that an ant has no mass. So in that way, we cannot say that electron has no mass. But the mass of electron is negligible as compared to proton and neutrons. It has been found that the mass of protons and the mass of neutrons are equal to the mass of hydrogen. We know that the mass of hydrogen is 1 U, that is 1 AMU, 1 atomic mass unit. So the mass of proton and the mass of neutrons are supposed to be 1 U, that is H, same as the mass of hydrogen. And when it comes to the electron, the mass of electron is negligible. I hope you have got an idea about the mass and the charge of those subatomic particles. So let's solve some questions. So you can see you have to find out the net charge and mass on an atom in the following cases. So every circle are supposed to be an atom. I will solve one question for you and the rest two you have to do it by yourself. So first of all we have to calculate the net mass on the atom. The first atom, I will take this atom. So we know the charge of electron is -1, the charge of proton is +1 and the charge of neutron, that is 0. Neutron has no charge, that means the charge is 0. So here 2 electrons are present, that means the charge is -2, plus 2 protons are present, that means the charge is +2, plus 1 neutron is present, that is charge is 0. So the net charge is 0. Next, we will calculate the mass of these atoms. So as we know, the mass of electron is negligible, so we will take the mass of electron as 0. Then the mass of proton is 1 u, the mass of neutron is 1 u. So 2 electrons are present, that means the the 2 electrons are present, the mass of electron is 0, so it is 0. Plus 2 protons are present, that means 1 proton has the mass 1 u, 2 protons has the mass 2 u. Plus 1 neutron is present, 1 neutron has the mass 1 u. So the total mass is 3 u. So the net charge is 0 and the net mass is 3 u. Try to solve the rest 2 questions. You have got an idea about the subatomic particles which are present in the atom. You have got the idea about their masses, about their charges. So hope the class will be very helpful for you. So thank you and have a nice day.